Nothing we say is investment advice. Please pause on all 3 pages of this disclaimer and read it.
Good morning. Wow. Good morning, everybody. Cowboy here, aka Nick, and it is 8:31 a.m. EST, and we're taking a look at EURUSD. Made a little bit of money on this move up this morning. Definitely looking like this move up will at least stay where it is or continue. I don't think it's ready to pull back just yet. If there is a pullback, I think it will actually continue up. So let me go ahead and fix something on my other screen here. Then we're going to get into what I think this might actually do. And, I might even have a trade plan to share with everybody. So interesting thing here, first of all, if you look on the screen, you see the get your free algo. Go ahead and do that. Whoa, hold on. Why do I hear myself? Why do I hear myself? All right, let me get out of there. Okay, fix that problem. Good, one problem fixed. Okay, so we got that going. Give me a second. And let's fix this bit on the screen. Okay, good. All right. Sorry, I had to move around a lot of my software crap this morning. So been retooling a few things, and that always makes for issues. So got those issues fixed. EURUSD, if I were just to take the classic sort of Fibonacci approach as to, how high might this rally go? Rallies tend to go to the 618, and it really depends. It could also just stop at this 382 and continue down, right? So just the pure Fibonacci approach. It might kind of pull one of these and then one of these and then head down, right? Or the other option would be that it does a few things, whatever, but ends up here at the 618. Those are the most likely sort of Fibonacci-based scenarios. I'm going to keep the Fibonacci tool on just for reference, but we're going to take a look a little bit deeper at the data and see where it might actually go. So firstly, definitely an uptrend. Again, I'm looking at the 3-hour. When I zoom out to the daily, this I think is going to continue up for a minute. Ultimately, I do think it wants to head down. And again, just like I said, I think even after the 618 or, as close to the 618 as it gets, I think it will start to head back down. So whether and this is on the daily chart, folks, so this is zoomed out pretty far, but whether or not price kind of bumps its head here and heads down, or whether or not it comes up to this area or even higher, I think it will end up heading down. The dollar does seem to be getting stronger. And right now, the dollar strength is just kind of taking a break, right? So when you see this move from top to bottom here, that's the dollar getting stronger and against the euro. And the euro is, pretty strong these days. And that's there are a lot of different theories as to why that may be, but the case remains that the euro is acting very strong. So give me just a moment here. Got to run to another screen. So apologies. Perfect. Okay. And all right. Well, hold on a minute. Don't want to remove. Okay, so it wanted me to do something with the drawings, and we'll ignore that. Let me take a brief look at something here on a lower time frame. Obviously, the pressure is on, and price does continue to move up, and it may not stop. Again, I think we might even just bust right past this 382 and continue up. And I just want to take a look at something here. Okay. All right. So the 382 is this line, but I think it's going to pierce that. And where I think it might go, let's actually kind of take a look at the impulses here. Now, this really is a parabolic move. So whenever it does break, it will probably significantly pull back. But that said, I don't know that it's ready for that, right? It might be. I mean, this would be like a 1-to-1 from here to here. So we're on the 5-minute chart now. And if you look at a move from here to here, that's about the same length as from here to here. So that 1-to-1 would be right there, assuming that the price does continue that far. So the 382 is kind of a decent level. There's some structure right here. And what may end up happening is price just kind of takes a break right there. But with as bullish as this is, that break might only look like this and then continue up later today, right? So this, I think, is the most likely scenario. So if I were looking for just a nice move on this, I might look for this pullback, grab a long, and then long it up to, just below the 618. So something along these lines. And it might be that we get a nice, instead of this loopy loop here, a nice sideways chop. And that sideways chop will give us sort of a range where we can see the breakout of that range. It might even look, as powerful as this move so far is, it might even look like this. And then therefore I could take the actual breakout trade all the way up to here and have a nice tight stop inside the pattern. So just a couple of different ways this could go and how I might trade it. A bit of a freebie for anybody who is watching. Go ahead and put a request in if you do have something that you want to see. Now, there is always that possibility, by the way, the price just rockets up to here. I mean, it's a powerful move. And I'll share with Algo Factory members in private why I think it's going to possibly do that. So that's something that I'll do after this first live bit is over. Let's go ahead and take another look at Bitcoin. I know a lot of people are, watching that. Honestly, I don't think the bull market is over. There's a lot of reasons to think that it is. And I've talked about this enough times in the last few days. I'd say just go back and watch my last, last 5 shows probably I've talked about this, including the Monday weekly forecast, right? Now, what might this look like? How might it go? I would say this range right here is important. The 97,000 being the bottom, right? And where does that BlackRock sold a bunch of Bitcoin, and why that might be. And by the way, they sold it right into the market, not like they sold it, quietly OTC desk. Like they just sold it directly on chain into the market, crushing the price basically, right? So if that's the case, and this move down, and there was, other reasons for that. There was the economic issues and the China this and the, all the news and everything, right? So what might happen? I think that one of two things are more likely. There's a million things that could happen, but one of two things. Price rotates in this range until it doesn't. And, we get new all-time highs, right? Now, it could look like a lot of things. It might be that price kind of just takes a while down here to collect itself and then comes up here and then does all these things, but eventually makes its way up, right? That's one sort of possibility. Another is that there needs to be more of a washout. Now, there are two ways to look at it. It might be that BlackRock sold to manipulate the price so that they could buy more cheaper. It might be, and I think it's not just BlackRock, but they're the largest participator as far as I know in the selling off of the market. It may also be other things. Either way, though, it's going to be the same effect, right? Without worrying about the narrative and the news story, it might also be that price has to head down to grab some liquidity, and for the big boys to fill up their bags under any circumstance, whether they were forced to sell or they sold because they wanted to manipulate, whatever the price may be. There's liquidity here, and there's even a lot of liquidity down low. So these are all the areas we have to kind of look at where price might want to go to grab liquidity. Now, if price breaks below 75,000, there are some concerns, right? It might be that the bull market is over. It might be, that kind of thing. And that's going to scare a lot of people, and scaring a lot of people might be what the intention is. But you break things down too low, and the things start to break, and you have problems that are bigger than, than just some retail people losing money. So I think that if we see a breakdown, people might get scared into selling enough if price can make its way down to 85,000, right? If it goes below 90, people are going to freak out, and it might even crash into the high 70s, and that'll definitely freak people out. But I just, at this time, if somebody put a gun to my head and said, do you think the bull market is over? Do you think we'll You know, do you think we'll see all-time highs again before this market cycle, this 4-year cycle is done? I would say I think we'll see all-time highs again. I could be wrong. And of course, as the data comes through and as the charts play out, I'll have more data. Just based on what I'm seeing right now, I think there's more left. But you know, it's like a 55-45 probability that the bull market is still in play, right? It's not. I'm not. It's not a very strong opinion that I'm holding here. Okay, so just understand the scenarios, right? Those are the bull market is still on scenarios. Is some kind of sideways and whatever, and then a move up to new highs, or perhaps a dive down to scare people, which people are already scared. And then the big boys fill their bags and, we see it go up higher. So those are the kind of scenarios that are most likely, in my opinion. And of course, those are the bull market scenarios. Now, bear market is pretty obvious. You would have a move down, maybe a move back up here, and then further down. And, we go into next year with the everybody bleeding, and it is what it is. And it happens every 4 years. So we might be there. It's just, excuse me, just given the time where we are on the calendar, I don't see that being the case. All right. Well, thank you for watching. I'm going to get a little bit deeper into all the charts here over in the private live lab. So we're going to do that. Go ahead, get the free algo, links in the description. We'll also give you newsletter, let you know when we're having our live trading. We're eventually going to do, workshops. If we get enough demand, if we get enough people who are interested in workshops, we'll do that. I haven't gotten a huge response on that. I mean, I might do it anyway, but what we have been doing is the live trading with Miko. It's happening a couple of times a month, and that works pretty well as a workshop. But at some point, if I get enough demand for workshop, I'll do it. Like I said, there's not enough interest demonstrated in that. So thank you all for watching. We will catch you on the flip side. Do not forget.
Join us or die.
Just kidding. You won't die. We love you.